Thanks for tuning back in. I'm Tommy Campbell, still bald, still in my basement, and still laughing at Donald Trump playing dress up at McDonald's and the right-wing media desperately trying to make it out like he was actually working there. This is like going for a ride-along in a safe neighborhood and claiming you're a super cop. Trump's motivation for this was purely to mock Kamala, who says she worked at McDonald's, and conservatives constantly demand proof of this. I want proof, okay? Proof! I mean, I for one don't have pay slips from when I was a teenager and worked at Little Caesars Pizza. I don't think fast food companies keep a database of all employees, and she also worked there in the pre-digital era. There is also a big difference between having no record of working somewhere and never working somewhere. She has friends that have backed her story up, and I just think it's a bizarre thing to make up anyhow. It's totally unnecessary. Like, she didn't come from an abundance of wealth. It's normal to have a job or a summer job. This isn't a stretch for most people. Growing up, all of my friends had jobs. I was always working and actually really enjoyed it. Kamala omitted the golden arches from certain job applications, and that's their big gotcha moment, that she didn't put fry cook on her law clerk application. Clearly, these people have never made a CV because you're only supposed to put relevant employment history on there. I do have the footage from Trump's McVisit, but the audio was destroyed. But thanks to my Soros technology, I was able to restore it to its original glory.
But I never did measure Arnold Palmer. You know, it was bigly huge, right? The biggest. We're talking Randy West. If you don't mind, I want to see the 5-second rule.
Absolutely.
Okay, can I make a Big Mac?
You're making fries.
Hello, McMorons. This is Eric's favorite, a Happy Meal. Give it to the 20-somethings in the back. Are we allowed to eat any of those yet? No. Hey, did you hear about Arnold Palmer? No. His thing was huge. Whoa. That's nothing like my mushroom. Stormy said like Toad from Mario Kart. That's a little pickle, a tiny slug. Gotta see, Dr. Jackson, there's something going on. Sores are leaking. Haba said that's not normal. Here's a bag of hot junk. Not as big as Arnold Palmer's junk, though. Thanks for visiting Burger King. Bigly container of salt. That's why Don Jr.'s not here. He'd be all over that white powder. This would drive him crazy. Salt is so good for you, right?
No.
Bobby Kennedy told me that. Hello, look at this, a hottie in a Tesla. Did Elon send you? Elon, I love Elon so much. He's giving me so much money. You are really good looking, you really are. You're like one of my hot dumb lawyers that I never pay. How about some healthy and safe quarter pounders? You know who else had a quarter pounder? Arnold Palmer. Honestly, you could DM me on X or Truth Social. Any of the places, send me a message, send me some pictures. Okay, I love you. Wow, do you have cold showers here? Arnold Palmer, it was huge, right? His legacy is way more than golf and drinks. Iced tea mixed with lemonade and a big dong. All right, more McDonald's for the people. Look at that. Well, they can't all be winners. Bring back the Tesla lady, please. Tesla lady. You know Arnold Palmer, right? The golfer? It's true. So big. Okay, now I'm gonna fill the fries, and I'm gonna do it backwards. Because I am totally bigly smart, I have to put all the fries in the other way.
Try again, Mr. Trump.
You know, these are almost as hot as my daughter, Ivanka. Jared Kushner's a lucky man.
Definitely.
She's so hot.
Yeah, man.
Watch it, sister. It's a good thing this is a fake operation because you're standing in a drive-thru. Hey, want to know a secret? Arnold Palmer, terrific golfer, had one bigger than that telephone pole. What do you say we celebrate his big meat with a lot of quarter pounders?
Fantastic. The McDonald's Trump chose for this publicity stunt in Feasterville, Pennsylvania was shut down so Trump could pretend to work there. This means a lot of employees were missing their shifts and had their schedules altered. Did he compensate them for this, for their missed hours? Now, this location had also recently been written up for health violations, including not washing hands, improper food storage, and employees not wearing hairnets. Just as an aside, when I see someone at a fast food place with the goatee net, like, dude, that is commitment. You would rather wear that on your chin than shave that thing off. Crazy. Now, what really irks me about this is that the right are really trying to spin this into Trump being a champion of the working class. When union leaders call him a scab, he talks about not paying overtime and he doesn't want to raise wages. It is crazy that you can just smile for the cameras in McDonald's and people will fall for it so easily. He was there for a dig at Kamala. He wasn't championing her work or the fast food workers. In fact, over the years, he's had digs at people, including Ron DeSantis, saying he'd be working at McDonald's without him. And I don't think it's a big deal that he said that. I mean, we've all made jokes about fast food. I made jokes about fast food while I was working in fast food places. But don't try and pretend you're this working class hero when the only tongs you've ever gotten close to are the golden ones Eric uses to fish the logs out of your turd tank. I make this show 100% on my own thanks to you. If you love what I do, drop me a super thanks, consider leaving me a PayPal tip, or hit the join button to support what I do here. They hype themselves as the party of family values and law and order, and this week, Lauren Boebert's son got barely a slap on the wrist. In February, Tyler Boebert was arrested after a series of vehicle break-ins, trespass, and property theft incidents and was identified by his Grit and Glory hoodie from his mom's failed bar and grill. His time in court included forgetting to get a lawyer, his mom choosing to go to Trump's trial in New York instead of his, where people walked away while she tried to talk, and then her funding some pricey legal counsel for Tyler. He had a string of very serious charges, and of the 22, all but one were dismissed as part of a plea agreement. Under normal circumstances, he would have faced a potential sentence of 1 to 3 years in the Department of Corrections and a possible fine of $100,000. He pled guilty on one count of attempted identity theft, which is strange because he did break into multiple cars, steal credit cards and ID, and made a string of purchases. But he won't serve any time, and instead will do 80 hours of community service. He's prohibited from having a firearm or using a controlled substance, and if completed, his felony conviction will be dismissed. Now, for most people, laying off the booze and guns is pretty easy, but he's a Boebert, so fingers crossed he poses for a new Christmas card and winds up in jail. For 2.5 years, I've been reading genuine pages from Lauren Boebert's book. This is a lot of fun and a favorite recurring segment among my subscribers. I only do it once in a while. Let's get back to it.
Focus, Lauren Opal Boebert. Focus. And when I say focus, I'm not talking about Ted Cruz trying to get the camcorder ready for one of our Cuban werewolf and Petite Onion videos at the Fairfield Inn and Suites by Marriott Denver Airport. No, I'm talking about putting all my attention on getting the big thoughts down in my manifesto to do politics. But I keep doodling different images because I am a dreamer. But not the Obama kind, the good kind. Food, shouted Jason, snapping me out of it. I was touched. He'd set up a booth for the two of us. A single candle in the middle illuminated the plate of coleslaw and 2 forks. An hour of banging and clanging in the kitchen, and the best he could do was open a tub of slaw. But I didn't marry him for his fixins. He handed me a fork and continued to shovel it in his mouth. His unkempt goatee was like a goalie, stopping half the cabbage, mayo, and carrots from getting past his lips. He sensed my anger and said, "What?" so loudly that he blew out the candle, and I let him have it. Now, I don't care if you decide not to wait for the mother of your children before you splatter your face in food service slaw, but you do not eat before saying grace. There is only one thing this man fears more than background checks, pimps, the nitroglycerin at the free clinic, or the IRS, and that's God. G-O-D-E, God. He dropped his fork and put his hands together. "Please, Father, bless this meal. I'm sorry I ate before my wife could get some in her old corncob vase hole, but it's a creamy salad, not a lifeboat, and I hope you forgive me and look over our family and help Lauren mend things with the wrestler dad that wants nothing to do with her. And if you want to help extra, give Mountain Dew the power to talk, as I think our family would be super financially blessed if we had a hamster that could do words. Amen, dude." He chowed down, and I took off my window pane glasses so I could wipe away the tears. As much as I was touched by his mention of my hamster and his prayers and the dream of one day being able to talk to Mountain Dew, my watery eyes were just from the candle smoke, and this dollar store makeup was running down my face, and I had to stop it before the mascara dripped off my way too sharp chin and into our late night snack. It was like a fairy tale. You've been brainwashed by the fake news media's killing our country. MAGA tears. Haven't seen Bunker Joe in a long time. Are you hiding him in your little basement? MAGA tears. Last election was rigged totally, but you fake newsers are delusional. MAGA tears. Fantastic. The McDonald's Trump chose for this publicity stunt It's working class hero when the only tongs you've ever gotten close to are the golden ones Eric uses to fish logs out of your turd tank. All right, got to go back on that one. And when I say focus, I'm not talking about Ted Cruz trying to get the camcorder ready for one of our
Cuban werewolf and petite onion videos at the Fairfield and Suites by Denver Airport. Very specific. I'm sorry I ate before my wife could get some in her old corncob face hole, but it's a creamy salad, not a lifeboat. And you do not eat before saying grace. There is only one thing my man fears more than background checks, pimps, the nitroglycerin at the free clinic, or the IRS, and that's God. G-O-D-P, God. There's only one thing this man fears more than background checks, pimps, the nitroglycerin at the free clinic, or the IRS, and that's God. G-O-D-W. God. He dropped his fork and put his hands together. A free way to support me is by doing your regular Amazon shopping through my link in the description. That's it. It costs you nothing. Just got to click here, and it helps me keep the show going.
I can confirm the Tommy Campbell Show is the best political comedy show on YouTube. And I hope you subscribe.